Mock Draft Monday, so let's do a freaking mock draft. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below where we have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Full disclosure, this draft order is as of after the Sunday night game, but prior to the Monday night game. Also, we're going to be doing Walk the Mock. It's coming back next week. If you don't know what that is, I'll fill you in later. Let's go ahead and get this sucker started with the Arizona Cardinals. I think I'm going to do a what I would do mock draft. I'm not going to include trades in this, which is a shame because I'm not going to lie. If this is what I would do, Cardinals picking one, I would be looking at all suitors, not just for this pick, but potentially for Kyler Murray, and then just taking a quarterback with this pick. For me, both options would be largely on the table, and I'd probably take the best one, or at least the one I felt would be the most fruitful. Of course, a trade with Kyler Murray would probably involve the trading partner having to take off a large sum of the money that we owe him. So just to not get into the weeds here, I'm going to stick with this pick. I'm going to act like Kyler Murray is still going to be a part of the future plans. I'm just going to take the best non-quarterback prospect on the board, being Marvin Harrison Jr. It's easy as that. Chicago Bears, we're going to go ahead and take the quarterback prospect because we got the next pick as well. I'm going to take, as of for me right now, it is Caleb Williams still. The gap is a lot closer now, him and Drake Maye. If you were going to say Drake Maye is the QB1 in this class, I'm not going to fight you much on it because I think it's that close. But for me, as of right now, I'm still going with Caleb Williams. Just unbelievable ability to improvise. The arm talent is great. And of course, yeah, the guy needs to learn to throw with more timing. He just holds on to the ball for way too long. He only knows how to throw lasers. I want to see a little bit better touch on his touch passes. But I'm taking Williams, man. I think the upside's huge. Sticking around with this pick, no Marvin Harrison, obviously. I'm just gonna take Fashanu, get our left tackle of the future. It means Braxton Jones probably kicks to being a swing tackle, which I'm fine with. You could make an argument for the top defensive player on the board, but I think the top 5 players in this class are all offensive players. You could even potentially even the top 6 players in this class are offensive players. So unless I'm trading down with this pick, which again, not doing trades, I'm just going to go with the best prospect on the board, which is great. Rejoice, Giants fans. You're going to get a quarterback. We're going Drake Maye. Easy as that. I love it. Daniel Jones, he will have one more year on the deal. You'd be like, well, he's signed a 4-year contract. They can get out after 2 seasons. Not only was he having the neck troubles this year, but now he has what at least was reported as a torn ACL. So there's just not a lot going in the way of Daniel Jones. And even when he was healthy and on the field, it wasn't that impressive this season. Let's go ahead and move on. Address offensive line in free agency. Quit just trying to throw draft picks at the problem. Get some proven talent in there via free agency. The New England Patriots, I like Joe Alt. I like Brock Bowers. That's where I'm at with this. You could even talk me into one of the receivers, but this is such a good wide receiver class that I'm like, man, Brock Bowers. They ain't a tight end like that in this class. But the tackle position also needs to be addressed. If I'm going to stay true to my board, this pick is Brock Bowers. I do like going tackle, though, here for the Patriots. Makes sense. They drafted a lot of young talent on the offensive line this past year. None of it was really tackle talent, though. A lot of it was interior. It's like they knew they weren't going to re-sign Michael Onwenu, which I don't know why they just didn't move him until at the trade deadline. Or maybe they do extend him, which is great. Man, I'm sitting here talking in circles. I don't know if I really want to go Brock Bowers, if I want to go with Joe Alt. Joe Alt's the kind of guy I'm thinking of, and I think he kind of fits the scheme real well. But Hunter Henry, I believe, well, Mike Gesicki is a free agent. Hunter Henry's contract is up win. It is after this season. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just going to go Brock Bowers, top guy on my board. Edges Joe Alt in this class by all of like 2 spots. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. When you use promo code Broshmo, when you sign up at Underdog Fantasy, they will match that first deposit up to $100 a dose. It is the best place to play weekly best ball, or my favorite player prop bets, higher or lower. For instance, my Monday night lineup here, I got Bryce Huff higher than a half a sack, Zach Wilson lower than 13 rushing yards, Gerald Everett lower than 3 receptions, Tyler Conklin lower than 27 receiving yards, and my favorite, Quentin Johnston higher than 31 receiving yards. Josh Palmer now on IR. But as always, please bet responsibly. And now we can think defense, though Joe Alt is a freaking thought here. We could go with the top defensive talent in this class right now. Or we could go with the top pass rushing talent, which I still think is kind of wide open. Is it Latu? Is it Verse? Is it Dallas Turner? I think all 3 of those guys have really good cases to be the top edge talent. You could go Drazon Newton. I think Joe Alt just makes more sense. Left tackle's kind of been a nightmare for the Rams. They've had Alaric Jackson. He's been he's also been hurt, which has led to a Zach Thomas, which was just So let's go ahead and just solve that. Let's get Joe Alt. Bam, offensive line. It's solved. Don't have to think about it. But now I'm here with the Packers, and I have no idea what to do. No clue whatsoever. So let's talk about it. Let's talk out loud what we could potentially do. We could go wide receiver. That's kind of one of the first things that come to mind, because just the wide receiver talent is so good. You could, whether it's a Keon Coleman, a Malik Neighbors, or Rome Odunze. I think any of those options are very, very sexy. Next tackle on the board. I don't think I want to touch the next. I don't think I want to dip into the next tackle right now. For some people, it's JC Latham. I think that's the most popular pick. For me, I think I'd be closer to thinking about Armarius Mims. I really think he's going to be a stud once he returns for Georgia. So I'm probably not going tackle. Defensively, Kool-Aid McKinstry. You can kind of bring him up. They just moved Rasul Douglas, though you have Jair and Eric Stokes. It's corners there, but you could also make the fair case that like Alexander, you could flip inside the slot. You could play outside. They could get real versatile with him. So I'm not against going Kool-Aid McKinstry here. I'm really not. I mean, the wide receiver position's so young. They've invested so much just from draft capital perspective. I think I might go with the Kool-Aid. Yeah, because it's either that or Keon Coleman. They're both like currently on my big board, one spot apart. So I think I'm actually going to go with Kool-Aid here. Because you know what? Corner is a volatile position. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'd be lying to you if I wasn't thinking quarterback, but I think I'm a real back. I don't think I want to take the next quarterback in the top 10. Even in the top 15, I'd be a little queasy about it. Just a little bit. I mean, a lot of people are really going to be pumping up JJ McCarthy, and I think that's fine. His year starts now with Penn State this week. Has a big game. Like, I'm sure if he has a big game against Penn State or Ohio State, then we're going to see this cat in the top 10. So I guess I'm probably going to go with Keon Coleman to be my replacement for Mike Evans. I think that probably makes the most sense. So yeah, I'm going to go with Keon Coleman. A lot of pass rushers still on the board here as we pick for the Broncos. Another spot I'd love to go quarterback. But we don't necessarily have to. We could decide on a tackle, but I think I'd rather go with wide receiver. Could go with the first edge off the board. That's definitely in the wheelhouse here. Uh, let's see. Would Liatu Latu? It would be fun as heck. But what else can we do? I don't think they're gonna keep. They're not gonna have. I'm sold that they're not gonna have both Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton on the team next year. I think at least one of those guys are gone, if not both. I'm thinking this pick might be Malik. Create after the catch. In that case, we keep Cortland probably. Trade Jeudy. Golly, this is tough. I could just say screw it, take an edge. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Just screw it, take an edge. No, I think I need help underneath. Yeah, we're gonna go with Malik Neighbors, guy that just can create after the catch. Just phenomenal. Okay, we're with the Tennessee Titans. Wide receivers kind of flown off the board. Odunze is kind of intriguing here, but I think I'd rather maybe go with the next tackle. You can make a case for corner. I don't know if I'm feeling Cooper DeJean and Nate Wiggins would be the next guys up, but the next tackle in this class is higher on my board, and it's Armarius Mims. Then again, JC Latham's more proven right now. Mims, you know, Mims had the great stretch of games during the playoffs, and then started the year a little hurt and banged up. So I guess I'm going JC. I guess JC's kind of the pick. Oh, I do like Talanise Fuaga. He's been a monster. Really helps out the running game. No, matter of fact, just send it. No, because I like the upside a little bit better of Mims. Oh, what a twisted web we weave. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I think I'm just. I feel like JC's probably the pick. Let's just go with JC for now. Honestly, all three of those guys are really good options. We're gonna see them probably come off the board fairly quickly in the next few picks. Chargers, this one's kind of a no-brainer for me. Yeah, I'm not even touching the edge class. I'm going with Jerzon Newton. Let's go, Jerzon Newton. Add him to that interior. They need to get better defensively. And you know how that starts? Firing Brandon Staley. I got you, Charger fans. I got you. Atlanta Falcons. I think this is where I start thinking about the quarterback class. And I think it would be JJ McCarthy. I would shoot for a young gun who's got good upside. I think Bo Nix is... I think Bo Nix a little safer floor, but JJ has the higher ceiling. Now, those guys are a little further down my board. If anything, I probably want to go with the edge class. And knowing how good this quarterback class is, you're picking relatively high. Maybe you trade up into the second round to snag a quarterback. Maybe I think we go with that. I think we go with that option. So I'm going to go with a defensive prospect. Now the question is who? Probably Liatu Latu. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Washington Commanders, we could go with offensive line help, but I think probably the pick is, hey, you just traded away both your edge players, and Jared Verse being here, just it's kind of a good pick. Other areas we could go, obviously tackle, but I think with Fuaga and Mims being right tackle guys, and you're probably looking for a left tackle replacement, that, I mean, not to say they can't move to the other side of the football, but I think I'd rather just go with one of the top edge talents. And I think Verse is the next highest. Yeah, Verse is the next highest guy on my board outside of Rome Odunze. So I think I'm going to go with Jared Verse for the Commanders. And now we start to think about quarterback again. If you are the Raiders, you're going to have a new head coach. Basically going to you're basically starting to rebuild. You got a few pieces that you're like, I like some of these guys. We're gonna keep these guys and we're gonna build these guys as the foundation. I don't think that they could move to Devontae Adams, but they don't necessarily have to. Because like we know what like star receivers do for young quarterbacks, man. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. I think JJ McCarthy's the call here. Swing on that upside. Swing on that sweet upside, baby. Let's do it. Okay, Indianapolis Colts. I love the Odunze pick here. Basically, better Alex Pierce. A big, speedy, lengthy target for your big, massive, armed quarterback. Corner is on the table. Like Cooper DeJean would be a really good fit. Odunze is higher on my board. He's currently the highest player still available on my board. I think we just go with that. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Now the Arizona Cardinals would have loved if Drizon Newton was here, but he is not. I do want to go defense with this pick. Looking at how this shakes up, Dallas Turner's the guy. Dallas Turner, Cooper DeJean, Chop Robinson, and Nate Wiggins are my highest defensive prospects. I think I'd rather go with the edge. And Dallas Turner is very close to guys like, I think, Verse and Latu. So I think Turner's just a pick. Get some edge help. Get that guy out there on the edge. Now we got the Buffalo Bills, and I would love a right tackle. Though Spencer Brown is starting to put it together, but I think, isn't this his contract season? Spencer Brown contract. No, he's got one more year with the squad. Interesting. One more year. I don't think they signed him long term though. One more year with the squad. Let me think, where else can I go? You could say corner, which like Cooper Jean isn't a bad option. If the Bills, they like those Raz guys, those like the Raz score, and I think Mims is probably going to be very high on that. So's Cooper DeJean. Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with the tackle. I'm gonna look ahead. And I'm just go ahead and get our right tackle replacement. I don't think you're gonna be giving stinking Spencer Brown money, though. He is in a contract year. He has played better this season. That's something to monitor, man. If his play remains very good or like very solid throughout the remainder of the year, he might be a guy you want to extend. Like maybe it's all starting to click for him. Though tonight against the Bengals, Sam Hubbard gave that dude problems. So something to keep note of. New York Jets. All right, let's look at our options. Looking at the top options on my board, I don't necessarily want to look defensively. So you're maybe thinking Emeka Buka. No, don't think so. It's probably Telenise Fuaga. That's probably the pick. Because everything else is a little bit more defensive oriented. Yeah, it's Fuaga. That's the pick. Let's run it. Send it. I know, man. Jets fans are so, like, they're tired of a tackle going with this pick, but it's the best value on the board, on my board, and it's kind of a good pick. Saints. What are we going to do with these Saints? Who dat? All right, well, let's look at the top players on the board. We got a Cooper DeJean, Chop Robinson, Emeka Buka, Nate Wiggins, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, JT Tuimalau, Cameron Kitchens, Kalen Keene. Man, if I'm the Saints, I want to trade back. We could go with Cooper DeJean. He gives you versatility. He's not just a corner. He can play safety. He's got the build of a safety. Like, he gives them a lot of flexibility. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the guy that gives my secondary just tons of flexibility. Where you at? Here we go. Cooper DeJean. Now we got the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe they bring back Kirk Cousins for another year, but I think you just get onto a rookie quarterback contract. I think it's just the smarter option. So at this point, you're looking at like Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Who's the better fit? I mean, you have these weapons that want to just scream down the field in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Like, I don't think there's a wrong pick here, but I think Michael Penix is just kind of the guy you want. Then again, Bowden. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Penix, but I'm very close to going Bo Nix here. And I wonder if Bo Nix has to go in the first round, right? Maybe not. Maybe I only go 4 quarterbacks in the first round. Dallas Cowboys. I think Nate Wiggins is a very tantalizing pick. I mean, the Cowboys have been playing a lot of man defense recently, too. I mean, they got Gilmore, they got Diggs. Ron Bland has been wonderful, but he could go back in the slot if needed to. Okay, let's just think this out. What other options do we have? Best player on the board is Chop Robinson. You got Emeka Egbuka. Get younger at receiver. So how do I feel about the cornerback depth compared to the depth at wide receiver? Jalen Tolbert. They got Turbin. Sure, Cooks is probably going to be heading to a new team this year or next year. Gallup's probably off the team. Am I just trying to talk myself into wide receiver? But how similar is Emeka Egbuka to the role that CeeDee Lamb plays? That's kind of a question. I think Nate Wiggins might just be the better get here. Which kind of sucks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would have loved a Nate Wiggins there. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's out of the cards yet to go corner. But I do have Kalen Keene a few spots back. He's actually probably the guy you consider here. It's probably Kalen Keene. Golly, I've been doing that pick so much for the Pittsburgh Steelers because it's good. Like, I'm not going quarterback here, or am I? Let's see where else. You don't need more edge talent. Like Chop Robinson and JT are there, but you don't need it. Cameron Kitchens is there, but safety's really not the issue. We could keep moving back, grab offensive line help. No, the pick is keen. The pick is keen here. Someday, hopefully we'll do something different for you, Steelers fans. Maybe next week. All right, got the Houston Texans. I love the idea of just having a sick rotation with Jonathan Grenard, Chop Robinson, Will Anderson. That's a thought. The problem with Leonard Taylor is that Miami doesn't like to play him on the field to stop the run, and D'Amico Ryan loves to stop the run. He loves that. He loves it very nice. So if anything, they'd probably dip to the next interior player. I don't think they have the guy I would take, which would be Riley Mills. I think he's gonna be in the back end of this first round conversation. I think it's a little too early for Chris Jenkins. Honestly, it's too early for Mills too. If we're trying to look for value. Let's see what else we can do. Emeka Egbuka. We could add him to it, and you just have a myriad of wide receivers. How much you weighing nowadays, Jonathan Grenard? $63. Okay, we're not. It's not like we can kick you in. Well, I mean, we could kick you inside on passing downs. I mean, this might be a case. Just take the best player available. There is Cameron Kitchens. He's a thought. JT's a thought here, actually. But I love the explosiveness of a guy like Chop Robinson. Emeka Egbuka just kind of is like, he's here, and we just keep improving the wide receiver core. Yeah, that's probably where I want to go. Chop Robinson is only 2 spots ahead of Emeka Egbuka. I mean, this is a good wide receiver draft. Actually, I'm gonna go with the edge rotation. This is a deep wide receiver draft. We could address wide receiver a little bit later. Let's just keep getting these monsters on the edge. Now we got the Cincinnati Bengals. Is it too early to jump for the next tackle talent? Not really, but I don't think I'd want to go there. Okay, Emeka Egbuka, not exactly the receiver I'd want. But again, Tyler Boyd's a free agent, correct? Let's just see this real quick. He is a free agent after this season. Gwali G. Willikers. So with him being a free agent, we could just get Emeka Egbuka to be our slot. And then I know a lot of people are like, oh, Andre Yoshevas is going to be the T. Higgins replacement. I'm not completely sold on that, but you get Emeka Egbuka, it's like, okay, even if T. Higgins goes to more profitable pastures, the wide receiver core is just still looking sick there. Okay, we got the Seattle. I'm going Bo Nix, man. Send it. Send it. I don't think Gino's the guy. He's a great bridge player. He's a good player. But you got to start looking for that next guy. We're going to keep at least Bo Nix on the West Coast here. I think this is a good pick. You get that. You hopefully get that quarterback of the future. You'll immediately come in and vie for the starting job. And maybe you get someone who's a bit better in the red zone. Bo Nix coming off a 6 total touchdown performance against California too. So look at that. We got 5 quarterbacks inside the top 25. This is where I probably want to go corner tackle. Who is rated higher? That's probably the question I want to ask. Just by a couple of spots, but it's Jordan Morgan higher than Denzel Burks. Morgan would be a very good fit. I'm pretty high on Jordan Morgan. Let's do it. Send it. Where they got Arizona at here? They got Iowa State. Oh yeah, that's right. They really like TJ Tampa. I like Tampa too, though. I like Tampa too, not like the defensive scheme Tampa too, but I like TJ Tampa too. All right, I'm gonna go Jordan Morgan. I think the cat's probably gonna be a first rounder. This is a really good tackle class at the top. Oh man, this sucks. I would have loved a really good tackle for the Dolphins. All right, well, screw it. Let's think this sucker through. What are we gonna do here? Riley Mills is an option. Not necessarily TJ. Cameron Kitchens. Does he? I don't think he does what I want him to. Honestly, might not be a bad thought to pair up with Javon Holland. Let's keep talking this out, man, because it's nothing but wide receivers, man. Like Tyler Nubbett. Honestly, Nubbett might be the better fit. Yeah, because it'd be Kingsley Suamatea or Graham Barton I consider here, but Tyler Nubbin might be the fit because, like, hasn't Deshaun Elliott been playing well for us? And I think you're just getting a more athletic version of that. Just really good. Brandon Jones is not great. I think I'm going to send it with Tyler Nubbin, dude. Have I done this for the Dolphins? I don't know if I did, but I like it. Wow, over Cam Kitchens, too. Hey, man, fit matters. Fit matters. All right, we got the Jags. We can go certain ways. JT's the guy I'm looking at here. JT Tuimoloau. That is the guy. I wouldn't mind going wide receiver here. But again, very good wide receiver draft. You're looking at like A.D. Mitchell, Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas. Those, all three of those guys, but Tuimoloau is kind of the next guy up on the board. I think that's who I'm going to go with. Where are you at, Mr. JT? There we go. Corner. It's always corner. The answer is always corner here for the Detroit Lions. Corner is the next highest prospect on my board. Well, there's Kitchens, but I'm not worried about safety for Detroit. They have enough safeties. Leonard Taylor's an interesting thought, but I think they're looking more for a big, meaty nose guy. Yeah, because I mean, Lee McNeil he shedded the weight to kind of be that penetrator. He's done a solid job at that. Wide receiver could be in the cards here. Like Mitchell's kind of got the girth. Brian Thomas has kind of got the girth. I wouldn't mind. So those could be options. But I think Denzel Burke just kind of makes the most sense. He's higher on my board. And he's somewhere on theirs. I promise. There he is. So we're going to snag him here. Ravens literally could do whatever the heck they want. Which probably means best player on the board. Cam Kitchens? No, they're so good at safety. Granted, Marcus Williams has been banged up, but they'll be good. They'll be good once he's back. We could go for the meteor option in the middle and Riley. Oh, Leonard Taylor's probably the guy here, right? Justin Matabuke about to be or is in a contract year, about to be a free agent. Don't bring him back. You probably want to get that penetrator. Could go wide receiver. I mean, that's always in the cards. Next edge, probably Braylon Trice. You can make a case for a couple of other guys on this list, like a Landon Jackson, a Chris Braswell, Jonah Ellis, Princely from Florida. Yeah, no, Leonard Taylor, just the talents. It's there. It's there and I want it. Kansas City Chiefs, receiver. It's receiver. It's 100% receiver. The question is, what receiver do I want? And tell me why it's Brian Thomas, dude. It's Brian Thomas, right? He's basically Troy Franklin, but the hands need to get a little bit better. But he's already got the weight you want. Great size, can't create after the catch. He's the guy. How are we feeling from a speed perspective with him? I said good top end speed, so it's not elite. Yeah, I think I'm going Brian Thomas. I want to go receiver so bad. I really do. Yeah, no, I think it's wide receiver. We're doing it. Where do they have Brian Thomas here? Here we go. I know somebody will be like, I can't believe you took player 88 on PFF's big board. Well, he's player 33 for me, so screw you. Brian Thomas is really good. You're gonna start. If you haven't already, you're gonna hear his name more and more. It'll be interesting to see if he comes out or not. Philadelphia Eagles, it's kind of open to what we do. I prefer best player available. Cameron Kitchens kind of feels in that wheelhouse, right? He's sitting here. I don't think they need another edge. They could just keep developing guys behind your Hassan Reddicks and your Josh Sweats. And as long as like Brandon Graham, he's doing fine with a shortened role or a minimized role. So maybe add more corner help. I mean, Bayard's probably a 1-year rental. You could go with the receiver class. Like Troy Franklin wouldn't be a bad option here. I think that's the guy I would want between him and AD Mitchell for specifically the Eagles. But I also think we just go corner. Just like keep developing young corners. That kind of feels like the right option. Who is TJ? Do I have TJ Tampa as my next corner? I do. Good size. He's long. Oh yeah, must have bumped up TJ Tampa this week. Got him a few spots ahead of Kamari Lassiter. All right. I mean, we're not going with defensive interior. Some people want to get like a replacement for Lane Johnson on the outside. Kingsley Suamatea. Actually, that's not a bad call. Kingsley Suamatea. And you could develop him. Man, we're going tackle heavy. I might be here for it. I do have him a spot ahead of TJ Tampa. I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to do that for my last pick. We're just going to go in on the tackle class. All right. So that is it. Look at that. A mock draft right. Did it right on the spot. Hopefully you had a fun time. Hearing my rationale, how I kind of hashed this out. Things I tried to consider, talking myself in and out of picks. You just get to see the overall thought process. I didn't try to move. I didn't try to go away from my board too much, though. Of course, as in every draft, you're gonna have good players fall. That's just the nature of the draft. Good players always fall. Like. Here, let's go ahead and give some shout outs here. My next best player on the board was Cameron Kitchens. He's prospect 25 for me. After that was prospect 30, AD Mitchell. You got prospect 32, Riley Mills, the interior out of Notre Dame. You got at 34, Shadur Sanders, the quarterback. Braylon Trice at 36 for me. Troy Franklin at 37. Graham Barton at 39. And then DJ Tampa at 40. So it's like, yeah, good players fall. And those were some of the best that were still on the board that would be available for a second round. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.